Alright, I'm going to try to make this quick. In the world of wildlife, you have Bergmann's theory. Now, this theory came out in the late 1800s. In the mid 1900s, it became Bergmann's principle. Today, it's known as Bergmann's Rule because it was deemed to be spot on. An animal in a southern climate is smaller than an animal of the same species that lives in a northern climate. The more north you go, the bigger things get. Basically, look at a white-tailed deer in Florida. The average weight is 140, 150 pounds. You get up to Tennessee, that same whitetail might average around 160 pounds. You get up to Ohio past the snow belt and you're looking at 180 to deer that actually can weigh over 200 pounds. And then you have the white-tailed destination of the world, Alberta, Canada, where white-tailed deer are at the tip of their most northern range, and it's not uncommon to see deer that weigh over 300 pounds. Now, there is such a thing as reverse dwarfism. If that northern animal moves into a southern region, it will shrink. But if it comes back to that northern region, it has a very, very tough time maintaining its body or building its mass back up by the time that cold weather sets in. So if you take a northern animal and move it south, it takes over a year for this cycle to happen. You bring it back north, it generally dies before it happens. And when I say the more north you go, the bigger things get, I don't mean body height. What I mean is mass, body weight. Now, there are a couple exceptions to the rule. One is the African elephant. If you take an African elephant, that's a big animal, but you stand it beside a mastodon, and it's like putting a collie beside a Great Dane. Mastodons were huge, but they had very tiny dog-like ears. You take that African elephant, and they have ginormous, huge ears. If you notice in Nat Geo, when you see an elephant walking, it's always waving its ears around, always moving. The reason why is because the blood pumps out of the body at a high temperature. That fanning of the ears in the thinnest part of the body allows that blood to cool extremely quick before returning to the body and pumping through the heart. So an elephant has a built-in air conditioner. The only other animal like that is a giraffe. They have that huge, long, skinny neck. When a giraffe moves, it's always doing this. It's always waving that neck back and forth. What it's doing is it's waving that neck in the air. It's cooling the blood leaving the body before it makes the loop up around over the head and back down into the body. So that's why I get what you mean with the traveling Bigfoot, or it's right on the tip of my tongue. You know what I mean. Anyways, the Bigfoot moving from north to south, back to north to avoid hunting season and all that. That's the only reason that wouldn't work, is because their body mass per capita, per the size of the animal, depending on the region it lives in, it wouldn't be able to either shed the heat or retain the heat or return its body to retain heat or create its body to shed heat quick enough to run that cycle within a year. Just over a few months, it wouldn't do it. It would die. It would literally kill itself. So I hope that explains it. But like I said, great idea. I like where you was going with that. It's just from a wildlife standpoint, I hope that helps explain a little bit as to why.